A child's diary lies alone on an old wooden table, shaky handwriting telling unspeakable horrors. Dad says he and Sister Katie are a destined pair. The baby is the child of the demon and a normal person. So will it carry half demon blood? Those scribbled lines don't just expose America's most gruesome incest secret. They unleash a chain of tragedy claiming 4 innocent lives, from an infant to a devoted foster father. Could a carefree 90s online romance turn into a blood-soaked nightmare spanning 3 states? This story starts in innocent chat rooms, but leads to echoing gunshots of death. Welcome to the Case Files, where we explore shocking criminal cases and unsolved mysteries. Today, we'll dive deep into one of the most shocking family tragedies in American history. A story that starts with an innocent online romance, but ends in a multi-state massacre. In this episode, we're taking a deep dive into the infamous case of Pladl tragedy. Blood reunion turns into incest hell. Part 1. Origins from 90s chat rooms. In 1995, the internet was still a new world, with slow chat rooms and basic emails. Stephen Walter Pladl, a 20-year-old guy from Virginia, wandered through online conversations every night. That's where he met Alyssa Garcia, a naive 15-year-old from New York with teenage dreams. They exchanged messages for hours, talked on the phone all night long, building a virtual romance full of passion. The relationship exploded quickly like youthful fire, promising a perfect future together forever. But harsh reality hit just 2 years later. In January 1998, Alyssa gave birth to her first daughter at age 17, naming her Denise with hopes for a new life. Stephen was 23 then, becoming a father for the first time, but reacted completely opposite. Instead of joyful hugs, he saw the baby as an unwanted burden and nuisance. Stephen's dark, violent nature began revealing itself terribly to his young wife. Alyssa watched her husband squeeze their daughter's mouth until it turned purple, pinching the fragile little body all over. The spreading bruises left her living in constant nightly fear. The horrifying peak came when Stephen locked Denise, just a few months old, into a cooler, waiting for the cries to weaken before opening it. That savage act made Alyssa realize she couldn't protect her child with a young mother's strength. She made the most heartbreaking decision of her life: send Denise for adoption at exactly 8 months old. The couple Kelly and Anthony Fusco from New York adopted the girl, renaming her Katie Rose Fusco with boundless love. They gave Katie a warm life, good schools, fun friends, and blooming artistic talent. Over 2 decades, Katie grew up without knowing that dark past at all. She became a beautiful, smart young woman, preparing for college with a bright future ahead. The Fusco foster parents shielded her from every shadow, creating a perfectly safe world. Meanwhile, Stephen and Alyssa continued life in Virginia, having 2 more little daughters. But the darkness in Stephen never faded. He still yelled, threatened wife and kids in random rages. Their marriage existed only on paper, lacking real love and trust. 2016 marked the fateful turning point when Katie turned 18, old enough to question her roots. The Fusco foster parents decided to help, connecting her with biological parents through adoption records. Stephen and Alyssa were overjoyed, excited to welcome their lost daughter after 18 years apart. But an uneasy feeling lingered in the Fusco's hearts, though they couldn't explain it clearly. In August 2016, Katie dropped college plans and moved permanently to Virginia to live with the Pladl family. The reunion seemed happy at first, but cracks appeared right from the first week. Part 2. Signs of sickness and lustful gazes. Stephen changed his appearance strangely just days after Katie stepped into the Virginia home. He had always been sloppy with scruffy beard and wrinkled clothes for years living together. Now he shaved clean every morning in front of the mirror, picked stylish shirts, even signed up for a nearby gym to stay in shape. Alyssa watched from the kitchen, clearly sensing something off in her husband's every gesture. The way Stephen looked at Katie wasn't a warm father-daughter gaze at all. It was a lustful, possessive stare of a man eyeing a young woman. Stephen favored Katie completely, cooking her favorite meals every night, buying new clothes, asking about every detail of her daily life. The two little sisters got totally neglected, having to fend for themselves for dinner and homework. Katie was shy at first, but gradually welcomed that special attention naturally. They started spending private time, whispering late in the living room while the house slept. Lingering hand touches, gentle hair strokes appeared more and more often. Alyssa witnessed it from the door crack, heart pounding with familiar fear returning. In the third week, Alyssa woke up at midnight and saw Stephen laying out a blanket sleeping right on Katie's bedroom floor. The door ajar, table lamp light spilling into the dim hallway. Soft whispers mixed with giggles made her freeze outside the door. Hands gripping the doorframe until knuckles turned white, Alyssa didn't dare confront right away. Fearing to trigger Stephen's familiar rage, she waited until morning to talk privately with Katie. Voice trembling, Alyssa told the whole horrific past her daughter never knew. When you were a tiny baby, your dad squeezed your mouth purple all over your face, pinched your fragile body until bruised. Alyssa described the cooler in detail, cries fading in cold darkness. She hoped the brutal truth would awaken self-preservation in 18-year-old Katie. Mom sent you for adoption to save you from him, sacrificing everything for your life. But Katie sat silently listening through, face showing no fear or gratitude. She frowned, annoyed. Mom's trying to ruin our father-daughter relationship. That reaction stabbed straight into Alyssa's heart like a knife, pushing them closer than ever. Stephen built an ideal father image, making up for 18 lost years with boundless love. By November 2016, the house atmosphere became suffocating beyond endurance. Alyssa saw openly flirtatious glances, hugs lingering beyond blood boundaries. She decided to divorce to protect her two little daughters from the toxic environment. The court gave Alyssa custody, but Katie chose to stay with Stephen willingly. 6 months passed in deepening dark secrets between father and daughter. In May 2017, Alyssa cleaned the kids' room and found the pink diary. These 11-year-old girls' scribbled handwriting made her collapse onto the floor in heavy shock. Dad says he and Sister Katie are a destined pair from past lives that can't be separated. Those manipulative words etched deep into the child's innocent mind. Next, Dad says the whole family must call Sister Katie the stepmom to fit her position. The little girl drew Dad with sharp demon horns, twisting tail, sinister, scary smile. The line below stated clearly, Dad is a demon in human loved one's disguise. But the final innocent question destroyed Alyssa completely. The baby in Sister Katie's belly is Dad and Sister's child, demon with normal person. So will it carry half demon blood? Katie was pregnant with her own biological father. Hands shaking holding the phone, Alyssa called Stephen directly to confront. Is Katie pregnant with your child? Tell the truth right now. Alyssa's voice broke in desperation and horror. Stephen replied with chilling calm. I think you already knew we're in love for a long time. No denial, no remorse, just terrifying casual admission. Alyssa screamed. She's our daughter. The girl is only 19 years old. How could this happen? But all words were useless. The incest consequence had become a tiny forming life ready to be born. Part 3. Incest Wedding and Bennett's Birth. Instead of regret or fear, Stephen and Katie decided to publicize the relationship with legal marriage. U.S. law strictly bans father-daughter marriage, so they drove to Maryland, falsifying personal info. On July 20th, 2017, the incest wedding happened smoothly, like any normal couple. Katie wore a super short black dress. Stephen smiled happily beside his young bride. Most shocking, foster parents Fusco attended and took photos together, though hearts full of lingering unease. They justified that Katie was 19, had the right to decide her life no matter how wrong. Stephen's mom, Teresa, also attended, silently approving instead of condemning her son's sick behavior. 2 months after the wedding, on September 1, 2017, Katie gave birth to baby boy Bennett Kieran Pladl. The innocent child carrying incest blood became the center of the tragedy about to explode. Alyssa reported police again, presenting the diary as ironclad evidence. Police interviewed the 2 little girls, gathering testimony on sophisticated manipulation. In January 2018, Stephen and Katie got arrested on serious incest and adultery charges. DNA test confirmed Stephen as both father and grandfather to Bennett clearly. Court allowed release on high bail, banning all contact between them. Katie returned to New York, living with foster parents Fusco per court order. Stephen stayed in Virginia, but got permission to visit son in North Carolina, under Grandma Teresa's temporary care. That decision later faced deadly criticism. Geographic distance made Katie gradually awaken after nearly 2 years of manipulation. Living in the safe, loving environment of foster parents, she got space to reflect on reality. The illusion curtain Stephen wove began cracking day by day. Katie realized she was exploited by the older, experienced, controlling man from the start. Shame, self-disgust, and youth regret overwhelmed her mind strongly. She decided to end it completely, wanting to raise Bennett alone in a healthy environment. Defying the no-contact order, Katie called Stephen announcing the firm decision. "It's all over. What we did is disgustingly wrong." She wanted to cut all ties to start a clean new life. For normal people, that news causes pain, but remains acceptable. But for narcissistic, controlling Stephen, it was unforgivable, utter humiliation. He lost ownership of the creation he made from his own daughter. Stephen didn't show revenge intent right away, instead acting heartbroken to set a deadly trap. He lured, "I want to meet you one last time to hand back Bennett as you wish." The promise hit Katie's longing to reunite with her son. She trusted and agreed to meet, unaware stepping into death sentence set by her own father. On April 11, 2018, Stephen drove to his mom's house in Cary, North Carolina to get Bennett. He lied about taking the baby to see Katie via Skype. Grandma Teresa trusted and handed him over. Part 4. Bennett Murder and Mad Pursuit. Back to his private home in Knightdale, North Carolina, Stephen committed the first crime in his revenge plan. In the house's deadly silence, he killed 7-month-old baby Bennett by asphyxiation from torso compression. The child's body got coldly stashed in the cooler like a lifeless object. Eerie coincidence. Bennett died at exact age his mom, Katie, got sent for adoption to escape Stephen. The tragedy loop closed in the most brutal way imaginable. On morning of April 12, 2018, Stephen started the hellish journey nearly 1,000 miles long. He drove all night from North Carolina to Connecticut, where Katie lived with foster parents. Not going straight to the house, he ambushed near Dover Plains, New York, with a sophisticated plan. Katie and foster dad, Anthony Charles Fusco, 56, got in the pickup truck heading to Waterbury to visit Grandma. It was their fixed routine every Tuesday and Thursday to clean the house. Surveillance video captured Stephen tailing in minivan from afar. At the intersection of Route 7 and Route 55 in New Milford, Connecticut, the truck stopped at the stop sign. Stephen pulled up beside immediately, got out drawing the deadly AR-15 automatic. No warning, he sprayed bullets wildly through the pickup window. Katie and Anthony died on the spot, blood splattering the entire cabin in a blink. Twisted fate. The foster father who once saved Katie now died with her under the demon's hand from years ago. Thomas Keenan, New York firefighter, witnessed everything and called 911 in panic. 911. A guy drove by and shot into the truck. 2 people inside are dead right away. Keenan's trembling voice triggered multi-state manhunt emergency. Police from Connecticut, New York, North Carolina blocked major highways. Meanwhile, Stephen called Mom confessing crimes in chilling, cold voice. "Mom, I killed Bennett, killed Katie, and her foster dad, too." Teresa Pladl, 64, sobbed, calling 911 immediately. "My son killed his grandchild, killed his ex-wife and her foster dad over the phone." Stephen's minivan found abandoned in Dover, New York, 18 miles from scene. Police deployed K-9 units, helicopters sweeping wooded areas. Soon after, Stephen's body discovered near the van with self-inflicted wound from the same AR-15. He ended his life in a pool of blood, closing the bloody tragedy chain he created. Bennett's body found at 9 a.m. same day in Nightdale Cooler during welfare check. Medical examiner confirmed asphyxiation by torso compression, undeniable scientific proof. Humbator. Part 5. Investigation and ironclad evidence. Police processed New Milford scene, collecting dozens of AR-15 shell casings scattered around. Surveillance video matched perfectly with witness Thomas Keenan's statement. The 11-year-old girl's diary became key evidence of prolonged incest manipulation. Bennett DNA results exposed Stephen as both father and grandfather, without gaps. 911 calls from Teresa and Keenan recorded every confession detail clearly. Alyssa provided abuse history from cooler to horrific diary. Police interviewed 2 surviving little daughters, confirming Stephen forced calling Katie stepmom daily. Lawyer Rick Friedman defended futilely. This was consensual love between adults, unaware of blood ties initially. But evidence overwhelmed, exposing Stephen's narcissistic, controlling personality from the start. Multi-state investigation coordinated smoothly between Connecticut, New York, North Carolina, Virginia. Every timeline piece fit precisely, from 1995 chat rooms to 2018 gunshots. Part 6. Aftermath and unhealed wounds. Alyssa survived with pain of losing daughter and grandson, failed twice to save despite efforts. I tried protecting Katie from infancy to adulthood, but still lost to the darkness. 2 little daughters, aged 12 and 14, face permanent psychological trauma from incest murderer dad. Kelly Fusco lost husband and foster daughter same day, living in helpless regret. We respected our 18-year-old daughter's choice, now wonder if too late. The case sparked fierce debate on justice system, catastrophic failure. January 2018, bail decision for family violence offender faced fierce criticism. Expert Susan Forward noted, "Controllers like Stephen always retaliate when losing power, need absolute detention. Leaving Bennett with grandma enabled easy murder unacceptable. Many states reviewed stricter adoption laws, requiring full info on dangerous biological parents. CDC stats show 1 in 4 U.S. kids suffered family abuse, 68% sexual abuse from relatives or acquaintances. Pladl case became psychology, criminology case study on early abuse detection. Signs from infant violence to lustful gazes, all clear if intervened timely. Society questions balancing personal freedom with protecting vulnerable people. Could it have been stopped if system acted harder from the beginning?" Tor. Conclusion. The Pladl tragedy isn't just incest and massacre, but a profound warning about darkness hiding in American families. From innocent 1995 chat rooms to 2018 gunshots, everything stemmed from unchecked early violence. The child's diary spoke for 4 victims, reminding danger signs always present. Justice system, foster parents, all failed protecting Katie and Bennett in time. Painful lesson. Love sometimes needs strong intervention instead of passive respect. If suspect domestic violence or abuse, call National Domestic Violence. Hotline 1-800-799-7233 immediately. Don't wait for darkness to spread uncontrollably like Pladl case. Thanks for watching the Case Files. Share to raise awareness. Like, subscribe, hit bell for next haunting episode. See you next time.